Good Friday to you. I'm Storm Team 9 Meteorologist Patrick Ellis here with your ENC Weather update for this November the 8th, 2013. Had a gorgeous day today across eastern North Carolina. A little bit on the cool side, a little breezes here and there, but nice day overall. I think we get a couple more out of this whole pattern in the next couple of days, but a big change is on the way as we head towards late next week. And some very interesting model data coming in from the European and GFS, a very wide suite of possible solutions at this point in time, and we'll try to outline that here in the forecast update. Usually we don't do that. We haven't done that in quite some time, but I think this warrants it as we head towards the latter half of next week. So let's get you into the forecast update. Here's a look at the frost advisory that we currently have in effect across eastern North Carolina, Washington, Tyrrell, Mainland, Dare, Mainland, Hyde, Beaufort, Craven, as well as Pamlico counties currently underneath this frost advisory that goes into effect at 3 o'clock tonight and will go until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You're saying to yourself, hey, what about the rest of the counties? Well, the growing season has already ended for areas mainly to the west of Highway 17. This is the first time that you guys east of 17 will be able to get down below freezing or close to it tonight, so that's why the frost advisory has been issued for your neck of the woods. That's the reasoning why we have not seen the issuance of a frost advisory for, say, Pitt, Lenoir, Greene counties tonight. But it still will be plenty chilly as we head through the overnight hours. Look at the temperatures that we have right now. We're doing this update about 7:20 on this Friday evening. Already down to 38 degrees at Swan Quarter, 52 at Hatteras, 48 at Morehead City, 43 the current temperature at Greenville, 39 down at Kenansville. We have high pressure and control right now, clear skies, calm winds, and cold conditions. It is a recipe for those temperatures to drop like a rocket, and I think temperatures tonight will be into the low to mid 30s across a good portion of eastern North Carolina with mainly clear skies, calm winds, and cold conditions. Could see a couple of pockets mainly west of I-95 dropping to the upper 20s tonight, but I think most of us will be in the low 30s tonight, mainly to the west of Highway 17, east of 17, low 30s, maybe some mid 30s as you head right along the coastline. Upper 30s, low 40s along the beaches, and stray maybe 50-degree mark for the Outer Banks tonight. Tomorrow looks like it'll be a nice day, mostly sunny skies, a couple of cirrus clouds streaming in through the afternoon hours. We should top out upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Mostly sunny, chilly conditions out there across the east. Light and variable wind overall not too bad if you have plans heading to the ECU versus Tulsa game, the homecoming game at ECU. Will be at 58 at kickoff by the halftime, about 55-52 by fourth quarter as the cooler conditions continue to move into the region. Not expecting a big-time cool as what we're expecting tonight. For tomorrow night, as we start to modify just a little bit, kickoff will be at 3:45 in the afternoon. Well, this first system gets on out of here as we head towards tomorrow, a little bit of a modification of the air mass. A Clipper system rolls in here as we head towards Monday. That'll bring down the temperatures, but then here comes the big plunge of cooler air into eastern North Carolina by the time we head towards Wednesday. We'll talk about that here in a couple of minutes on some of the modeling differences. As far as the weekend's concerned, can't complain about it. A couple of cirrus clouds tomorrow, 58 to about 62 will be the high temperature. Sunday, full sunshine, a touch warmer, will be up in the mid-60s. Veterans Day looking nice. We should top out around 60. Mix of sun and clouds for Tuesday. Got a slim chance for a shower in there, high of 60. That Clipper system, the big cool down comes in here as we head towards Wednesday. And could bring some light showers into the forecast. But look where the temperatures go from 60 degrees on a Tuesday down to only 45 on Wednesday. Now, we'll talk about some of the differences on that here in just a few minutes. But it looks right now what we're going with a cold rain for Wednesday. Should be starting to clear out by Thursday and Friday, and temperatures starting to modify as well, but it's still going to be quite chilly. Thursday only topping out in the upper 40s and low 50s and mid 50s by Friday. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about some of the things that will be going on as far as next week is concerned. Here's a look at the GFS model. This is the 12Z run. Looking at Tuesday morning, about 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're dry here, but you see obviously back off to the west over towards West Virginia, Kentucky. That is not rain, that is snow getting picked up by the GFS model, and fairly hefty amounts of snow in some locations west of the on the eastern slopes of the Appalachian Mountains. Then we fast forward. This would be Wednesday evening, about 7 o'clock, and we've got a little bit of frozen precipitation moving into the North Carolina Piedmont. Here's 6Z. That would be 1 a.m. on Wednesday. And you see that right there, very plain as day. But oddly enough, the 32-degree line is back off to the west of us, but is painting some light snow, possibly some light flurries across portions of eastern North Carolina, mainly along and to the east of Highway 17. Once again, you see the 32-degree line. It is further back off to the west, and it does not affect us, and that doesn't really move in here until early in the morning time hours of Wednesday. But interesting to note that this model is depicting some type of frozen precipitation and also quite breezy conditions. You see the isobars there with the pressure very tight, so very breezy conditions associated with that as well. And here's a look at the raw output off of the GFS for Greenville. And you see that very dry air the entire way. That's at the top is the precipitable water values. And we talk about that, how much water you can squeeze out of the atmosphere. Very dry air in place across the board. The next time that it ramps up close to an inch, even close to an inch, would be late next week after this thing is out of here. But you see Wednesday afternoon, that would be a high temperature of 42 degrees off of the GFS output. And during the time period that this would be occurring, as far as the actual possible frozen precipitation, it would be occurring sometime about 6Z to about 12Z in the morning. And temperatures are somewhere in between freezing. The minimum temperatures would be the blue line. The maximum temperatures are the red line. And you see the temperatures dipping below freezing about late in the morning, early in the morning time hours, about 3-4 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. That would put it very close to what we were thinking. So there is the potential for something to happen there. But to be honest with you, it's very low in threat right now. We are still looking at the potential for some light, cold showers, though, as we go into the next couple of days when we get towards Wednesday and Thursday. Back over to the 12Z GFS, and once again, this is looking at the 6-hourly accumulated snowfall forecast, and this would be on 12Z on Wednesday. That'll be 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, and it's got a couple of little blips there, obviously with some light snow amounts. Once again, I will tell you this, the temperatures may support it, but the ground temperatures are running about 59, 60 degrees, so anything that, especially something this light, would melt on contact pretty much, and nothing doing as far as that's concerned. And you go out in the long range and you got nothing there. But this is something interesting to look at. That's the GFS. Let's look at the European model now. And this would be the same time period. This would be about 7 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. We'll fast forward that to this would be about 1 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning. You see some light stuff starting to get together as we head towards the early morning hours. But look what happens. An area of low pressure starts to develop offshore and starts to move up our way. And a little note of interesting moisture moves back on shore across eastern North Carolina. That would be a very breezy setup. For one thing, but also the potential for some some moderate precipitation with that. And then that would continue actually into Thursday. So we'll look at the Europeans' raw output, and it's painting highs in the 30s come Wednesday and Thursday, before rebounding back up to about 52 or so, 53 or so, by the time we head towards Friday, which that would put it back on par. But that's those temperatures there. Very interesting to note that it seems that the GFS and the European only really disagree about temperatures during this time period of Wednesday into Thursday. So I say that to preface the fact that basically you look at the two models, and it is either the delineation of a snow or if it's going to just be a cold rain. And this is a look at the Europeans' total snowfall output using a 10-to-1 ratio. That outputs about 4 inches of snow over northern Onslow County around Richlands, about 3 inches in Greenville. So, and once again, I'll point this out. This is a very, very, very changeable forecast, very volatile forecast. I'm not saying that the European is correct or the GFS is correct at this point. We're going to lean a little closer to the GFS because it makes a little bit more sense. But is this plausible? In a technical sense, yeah, it is plausible. The last time we had a November snowfall was back in 1968, and you have to remember that weather is cyclical, but the pattern that we are in right now doesn't lend well to a coastal low pressure system similar to this that the European is painting. So what are my thoughts as far as this is concerned? And I'll be completely truthful with you. This is a very interesting setup, and I'll say this again. We have the potential for a very interesting setup over the next couple of days. The cold air is on its way. I don't think that is going to be wavering anytime soon. I think the cold air is on its way for next week. The precipitation part of this is the mitigating factor, and also whether or not the surface temperatures will be cold enough, and also all the way through the atmosphere. You can't just look at the surface temperatures to determine whether or not you're going to see snow. You got to look throughout the entire atmosphere and see how the atmospheric temperatures are throughout the entire column. So that's the issue that we have right now. Right now, we're going to go with a cold rain come Wednesday. Temperatures will struggle to be in the mid-40s come Wednesday afternoon, and a low-end chance for rain at about 30%. The reasoning why we're going to go with a 30% chance is because of the fact that the European is painting a decent amount of QPF come Wednesday, and the GFS is not, and it's hard to tell right now. You have to kind of take a blend, but at the same time, this is a tough forecast, and I think we'll still be wrangling with this even into the weekend. So stay up to date with us here on the ENC Weather Update videos. Also on Facebook, Twitter, WNCT.com. We'll keep you guys updated. But like I said, the weekend looks great. Monday, Tuesday look all right. And then we're going to be talking about Wednesday and Thursday potentially for this event. But for the time being, we're going to make mention of cold rain coming Wednesday into eastern North Carolina. No mention of definite certainty that we're going to see any type of frozen precipitation, even though the models are depicting something interesting, needless to say, during that time frame. So stay up to date with us, Facebook, Twitter, WNCT.com. Have a great rest of your evening, a great weekend ahead, and we will keep you guys updated here on the forecast update videos throughout the weekend.